Ladies and gentlemen, one of the funniest things about the United States is that it's the most powerful country in the world, and it can have such a stupid populace at the same time. And the reason why I say this is because it comes from the fact that 50% of the voting population in the United States believes that not having voter ID in an election for the highest seat in the country, some might say in the world, is a good idea. Liberals only have one argument against mandatory voter ID in the US, and they say that it's because it disproportionately impacts marginalized people such as low-income people and racial minorities, because they think that it's more difficult for them to get an ID.
I'm convinced, folks. That's pretty much the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The fact that voter ID laws are controversial and dubbed as racist is the reason why the public mistrusts the elections. How can you be surprised by that? You know what's really racist to me? Saying that voter ID is racist because you're just saying that black people, it's mainly them that they're saying this about, are too stupid to get a driver's license. And I don't know why African Americans just sit there and let white liberals coddle them like children and make them believe that they don't have the mental capacity to get an ID. How can you tell me that there are people right now in the United States that don't have a legal ID to identify themselves to say that they are citizens of the United States? Because everywhere else in the world, you get a free ID when you turn 16. The poorest countries in the world do this, but the United States have basically just let randoms from different countries rock up and vote in the elections. They can't afford it, or I don't know, what other excuse is there? Because I'm of the opinion that if you cannot obtain a driver's license or any other sort of identification, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. I know that you think it's a radical take, but you have to be doing the bare minimum. The election is every 4 years, and if you can't go to the DMV for 1 day out of 4 years, you shouldn't be allowed to vote because you don't care enough about the country. I'm making this video because I saw a thread on Twitter that went viral where people from other countries all over the world were voting in the elections, and most of them were just voting for Trump. So here's the meme where everyone's just voting for Trump from different countries. Here's one from Korea. Here's one from, I think that's China. I don't even know what is that. And yeah, and then here's one from some African guy showing his feet, and then here's the funniest one. This one looks like one from Germany in 1945, also voting for Trump. Where are the rest? Here's a Russian one. Here's a one from the Philippines, a Rhodesia one. Most of these passports aren't even real anymore. A Legoland passport. And here's one from the Islamic Republic from Iran. There have been so much more of these things. It's so funny. And I hope that Democrats see this and lose their... Here's an Australian one. I hope Democrats lose their minds and stop allowing this to happen. And I know that most of them were probably doing this as a joke, but I hope it gets to the point that if Trump wins, the Democrats think that he won because of the illegal votes, and then when they lose their minds, they finally will agree that you need mandatory ID to vote in your elections. Here are all the countries that have mandatory ID for voting. You see that? Haiti is on this list. You see, even Haiti, a country that has been pillaged by foreign actors over the past couple decades, a country that is currently in a civil war and that was at some point being run by a cannibalistic gang leader called Barbecue. Even that country thinks not having mandatory voter ID is taking the piss. They have so much more things to worry about than the US populace, and they still find time to go get an ID. It's even more difficult to find a DMV in Haiti. And don't even get me started about mail-in voting. Who thought it was a good idea to allow mail-in voting for the entire country? It was supposed to be for people working overseas that can't get back in time, like people in the military, not the entire country. Because putting your ballot in a mailbox is also fucking stupid, but in America it's fine. And here are the consequences of that. I ask you this again, how are people meant to trust the electoral process? There are currently delinquents running around burning people's votes in mailboxes. And then everyone's shocked that 50% of the population thinks that elections are rigged. Hundreds of votes were incinerated in that box, and that wasn't the only box. There were many other boxes around the country. And you'll get morons saying that this is only a couple thousand votes, it will make a difference. This is going to be a very close election this year, and some might say it might be the closest election of all time. And these couple thousand votes will probably make a difference. No, not even probably, they will make a difference, because Trump lost the election by like 50,000 votes back in 2020, and it was 50,000 from different states and counties. And what's going to happen is people are going to see these, and whichever side loses, they're going to blame, then say there was malfeasance happening in the election, and then there's going to be unrest. So I don't understand. It's such an easy thing to do. Voter ID and don't have mail-in ballots. I don't understand how the most powerful country in the world can't figure that out. The date now is currently November 1st, and it's 4 days to the election, and I just wanted to make my prediction on who I think was going to win this electoral race. And you guys may not know this about me, but I am the modern day Nostradamus. I'm never wrong. And I kind of have a bad feeling for Trump and his chances of winning this, because I feel like he's just been a bit too cocky. It's been funny, but he's just being too cocky at the moment. He's too confident, kind of similar of how Hillary was back in 2016. And I saw the big MSG rally. It was fun, kinda, and it was hilarious, but I just felt like everyone had an air of confidence that was a bit too much. People were counting their chickens before they hatched. And you have no idea how wrong I want to be. If Trump wins, I want it to be so close. I want it to be a close race. I want it to be so close that the Democrats feel hard done by, because if that happens, the way they would lose their minds, it would be monumental. If it could be on the levels of 2016, as fun as 2016 was. And I know I might sound evil, but hey, isn't that a fun way to see them go out? Maybe they could do a little January 6th of their own. Now I'm saying this, now I'm not saying that they should do it, but it would be funny if they did. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It would be much appreciated. Peace.